What if I told you that one man, a college dropout, a jail escapee, and a rebel warlord, once became president of Liberia, and later ended up in a prison cell thousands of miles away? This is the story of Charles Taylor, the man who promised freedom, delivered war, and left behind one of the most painful legacies in African history. This is his rise and his fall. Part 1: Early Life and American Connection. Charles Taylor was born in 1948 in Arthington, Liberia, a settlement founded by formerly enslaved African Americans. Like Liberia itself, Taylor's story is deeply tied to the United States. In the 1970s, Taylor moved to America, studying economics in Massachusetts. But his time there wasn't marked by success, it was marked by crime. After Liberia's 1980 military coup brought Samuel Doe to power, Taylor returned home and landed a government job. Soon after, he was accused of stealing nearly $1 million in state funds. Taylor fled back to the U.S. He was arrested, placed in a Massachusetts jail. Then, in one of the most mysterious jailbreaks in U.S. history, Charles Taylor escaped. To this day, people still ask, did he really escape, or was he helped? Part 2: The Warlord Rises. In 1989, Taylor returned, not as a politician, but as a rebel leader. With a small force called the NPFL, he invaded Liberia from Côte d'Ivoire. What followed was pure chaos. Villages burned. Child soldiers were recruited. Civilians were massacred. Liberia collapsed into a brutal civil war that would kill over 250,000 people. Taylor wasn't just fighting Samuel Doe. He was fighting for total control. And shockingly, many Liberians supported him. Why? Because Doe's government had already traumatized the nation. Taylor's promised change. But his version of change came at a terrifying cost. Part 3: He killed my ma, he killed my pa. In 1997, after years of bloodshed, Liberia held elections. And Charles Taylor won, by a landslide. There was a chilling saying at the time, he killed my ma, he killed my pa, but I will vote for him. Why would people vote for a warlord? Because they were exhausted. They believed Taylor was the only one who could stop the violence. He became President Charles Taylor. But peace never truly came. Part 4: Regional Chaos and Blood Diamonds. 60. As president, Taylor ruled with fear and intimidation, and even worse, he fueled wars beyond Liberia. Taylor backed brutal rebel groups in Sierra Leone, trading blood diamonds for weapons. These diamonds funded atrocities, amputations, mass killings, and terror campaigns that shocked the world. The international community began closing in. Sanctions hit Liberia. His allies vanished. Rebels turned against him. By 2003, Monrovia was under siege. And Taylor ran, again. Part 5: Arrest, Trial and Fall. Taylor fled to Nigeria, living comfortably in exile. But justice caught up. In 2006, he was arrested and handed over to an international court. Years later, Charles Taylor was convicted of war crimes and crimes against humanity. He became the first former African president to be sentenced by an international tribunal. 50 years in prison. From president to prisoner. Charles Taylor's story is more than history. It's a warning about power without accountability, desperation in broken nations, and how violence can disguise itself as leadership. Liberia is still healing. And the question remains: was Charles Taylor a product of his time, or the architect of Liberia's destruction? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you want more real stories about Liberia and African history, this is Truth 231. Like, subscribe, and stay informed.